Hello again, this is Joanna from Joanna the Medium, and these are going to be messages for May 2016. First and foremost, I wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in and for watching, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate them, and I want to make sure that every month I say how appreciative I am of you watching these, because without you, at the end of the day, you know, there's no point for me doing this. My May readings are a little bit late. My apologies. I have been trying to find the time to make them happen and to produce them, and it's just been a crazy April. And speaking of April, April has been a very transformative month. I do believe I mentioned this in April readings, but my understanding is that May is supposed to be a lot more peaceful, with a lot more pieces of the puzzle coming together, allowing you to feel much more at peace than you have been in the last 3 or 4 months. So I guess since the beginning of the new year. Please keep in mind, these are general readings. If you would like a private reading pertaining especially to you, or if you want to connect with a loved one, you can reach me at info@joannathemedium.com, and we can schedule an appointment via Skype, phone, or FaceTime, or if you're in town, in person. If these don't make sense to you, if your sun sign doesn't make sense to you, please look at your other signs, your rising sun and your moon sign, as I'm finding through your comments that some months, some of these make more sense to you than other times. So it'll help to create a much clearer picture of what's happening with you. Without further ado, let's proceed with May 2016, and I will see you shortly. And again, thank you so much for tuning in again. See you in a moment. Hello again. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Pisces for May 2016. I'm just going to adjust the light a little bit. I have the cards laid out. I don't know what they are yet. They're not turned over, and I'm going to ask my guide if there is a message he wants me to deliver to you before we turn over the cards. So this is what I'm hearing. Live well. Live as if it was your last day. Not because you're going anywhere, but because worrying about what will or will not, or what may or may not, is not congruent to you having peace of mind, or to you receiving the contentment that you're looking for. What do you mean, please? He says some of you are worried. You are worried about money. He's showing me a sign of money. And you are worried about losing your home. And he's saying to me, for the most part, this situation will resolve itself. And for the other part is there is some requirement on your part to do some due diligence. So this is a very specific message to probably a handful of you. You are being reminded to live your life fully, which means to not worry so much. Now, I'm going back to him and I'm saying, well, if somebody's faced with losing a home, how could you not worry? And he says, I am talking to those who make a habit of being worried. Those are the ones that I am addressing. There is nothing wrong with being concerned about what's next, but for those who are repeatedly living in that state of mind, this is who I am addressing this message with, or for. Okay? So let's see what the cards say, and I always hope they corroborate the message, because that makes it, well, that much more exciting. So the first card we have is the card called, I love when this happens, the waiting game. The card is called the waiting game. This is card pertaining to, number one, I hear the word choices. This is a card that represents your current situation. It is a card that pertains to your passions, to your purpose, he says to me, your ability to create, your creativity, and the inner you, the spiritual you, if you want to call it that way. So whatever is happening right now, you are in a waiting zone. It is a time of contemplation and a time of non-movement. And maybe that's why he's saying for you not to worry so much, because nothing is happening, so you feel maybe that you're stuck. He says, you're not stuck. This is only temporary, and it is a moment to serve you. Say it again. This is a moment that will help to serve you in a way that will allow you to have some contemplation time about what's next. Because he's saying to me, whoever this message is for, you are hastily moving forward from one thing to the next, but you're not really paying attention to your purpose, to the inner you, and you are missing the point of it all. And he's talking, showing me money. So perhaps for some of you, this is you're preoccupied or concerned or fearful of not having enough money, and it is always on your mind. And when that happens, you lose perspective on who you are, because you're always fearing the worst regarding financial situation. And he says, leave it at that. Okay, so for those of you who this is pertaining, I will assume, like I always do, that you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, the next card we have, the card Trapped in Fear. Very, well, explanatory, but it's also very fitting. This is a card that shows past influences that are still influencing you right now. So Trapped in Fear is contributing to the waiting period, or whatever is happening with you right now that feels like you're waiting around and nothing is happening. This card is all about fears, and it's our mental facility. It's our mental state of being. It's our thoughts. It's what we project to the outside world. It's how we think. And he's saying to me, interesting, he's asking me to point at the number 8. In this particular reading, in this situation, this signifies to me, the number 8 signifies to me that this is how you predominantly function, meaning this is the norm for you, the norm to be constantly worried. And remember what he said at the very beginning, this isn't a message for those who are just worried about what's now. This is a message for those of you who make a habit of being worried all the time. This is what the card says, because 8 to me represents stability, something that is solidified, something that is solid. This Trapped in Fear is solid, signifying this is predominantly how you function. You're in your head and you're in this fear. And this is what's contributing to your situation right now, and is not that you are at fault here. That's not what's being said. It is contributing to the situation feeling like it's not moving. So it's, in other words, it's not making things better for you. Okay? Now, he is asking me to point something out that I typically don't notice. He's asking me to look at the light here. To me, this signifies that there is light, there is clarity there somewhere. But this person having their head down is unable to see it, recognize it, or unwilling to look at it for whatever reason. And he's saying to me, they're left to their own devices, and they're choosing to stay there. They're choosing to stay in that mental prison, because this person looks like they're in prison here. So he says, again, it's a pattern, and I hear the word mother. So perhaps for those of you who this message is for, you have inherited this trait from your mother, or somehow a mother figure is connected to your worries in whatever way, shape, or form, whether because of how you were brought up, your relationship with her, or lack of, or something of that nature. You will understand what I mean by this for those of you who this is for, okay? The next card we have is called Firm Foundation. This is a card that is representative of the earth energies. This is about the physical aspect of who we are. 4 is a number of stability, but it is stability that is at the very beginning stages of it, and it still has to be worked on. There's still considerable amount of work to be done. Now, the card was shown to me in reverse. And I'm going to ask him what this means. Because remember, for those of you who know, I don't read cards. I just look and I ask my guide what this is pertaining to for you guys. He says to me, the stability they seek comes from within first. Yet how can one have stability where this is the prison they live in? It is their frame of mind that needs changing. It is not the outside world that is going to make that change for them. Now, that does not mean that outside circumstances don't make us feel better. Of course they do, and also outside circumstances contribute to us feeling fearful, absolutely. But if we always live in this prison, we project that to the outside world, and the world, universe, will bring situations that will vibrationally match what you are projecting, which is fear. So in order to change your future, you need to reprogram. That's what he's saying to me. You need to reprogram your thoughts. And again, he's pointing me back to a mother. So perhaps your mother was a worrywart. Perhaps you worry because of the way she was towards you. However or whatever it happened. This has to stop, because he's saying to me, you are continually making yourself sick with worry. Okay, so that's why the card was shown to me in reverse, is because regardless of what happens on the outside, if the worry never goes away, you truly can never really feel content and at peace. So that's why. Now, the next card is going to be very significant. Okay, this is very strange, because this card represents the reason, or actually it's not strange, the reason behind what's happening, or what is subconsciously blocking you from having a firm foundation. So let me ask, because this card is, it's the universe, is the last card of the arcana, and it basically signifies, the card on its own signifies all the hard work that you have done is now going to pay off. And the reason why it's being shown to me as the reason card, or the blockages, is because you are not recognizing all the qualities within you that are incredibly powerful or wonderful. Instead, this is where you go. So in other words, he's saying to me, you are paying attention to your fears. You are not paying enough attention to who you are, what you are capable of, and the wonderful person that you are. If you were to change your frame of mind, and if you were to concentrate on the qualities and the good things that are within you, you will therefore change the energy you project to the outside, and the outside will bring forth energies that are aligned with your positive thinking. That's why this card is being shown. In other words, he says, it's no different than the term positive thinking. You get what you, what's the word you're saying? What you project, you will expect. Or what you expect, you will you will project towards you. You can't project towards you. You understand what I'm saying. What you expect, you will receive. That's basically what's being said to me, to you. And he says, it is a really, really, really important lesson for you to get at this point in your life. I'm seeing the number 45. And I'm also seeing a woman. So perhaps this is for a woman in her 40s who is worried and who has a tendency to be a worrywart. And perhaps this is for someone who doesn't feel very confident. And again, this confidence is perhaps lack of confidence is stemming from the mother figure. You guys will know who I'm talking to or what this is about. You need to start recognizing the goodness within in order to bring more goodness into your life. And if you concentrate on this, you will never see that there is a clarity, that there's light out of this. You'll never see. You will just be stuck in this darkness. Okay? Now, he says, this is not a gloomy message. This is a message to shake you out of your rut. And if you who are listening and who understand this, if my message is irritating you, then it is precisely hitting the right buttons, okay? And please don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that the message should irritate you, but sometimes when we hear a certain message and we're not ready to hear it, there will be a resistance. And that resistance is an indication that something is hitting a sore spot, okay? Also, he says, do not be a victim. Do not consider yourself to be a victim. You are not a victim of your circumstances. What happened is the past. You are carrying your past forward, and that is not serving you in any way, shape, or form. That sounds like a lecture, and I certainly don't mean to do that for you, but I'm just saying what he's asking me to say. And he says to me, they will understand this, okay? And he says to me, this needs to happen. This needs to happen now. Again, I'm seeing 40, 45. So maybe this is for some of you who are in that bracket, or whoever this message applies for or you resonate with, maybe you're in that bracket, or maybe the 40 and 45 pertains to something completely different, but it makes sense to you. And if it does, of course, please let me know, because I love hearing your comments. Now, the last card, which is representative of the potential, we have the card called Authority. This is a major arcana card. This is, again, number 4, which is indicative of stability. Sorry, lost the train of thought for a second. Stability, but that stability is just at the beginning of it, and it needs considerable amount of work. But it was shown to me in reverse. Okay? So what he's saying to me is this. If you remain stuck in your past, and if you remain stuck in your negative thinking, if you do not pay attention to the beautiful and good things in your life and within yourself, and I can hear somebody saying, there is nothing good going on in my life. I don't have anything. So I'm going to ask my guide to tell me, if that is you, what he would suggest. And this is what he says. There will always be one thing that you can be grateful for. If you can just find one thing that you can be grateful for, and if you can be grateful for that one thing, that will change the energy in your heart, which will change the energy you project to the outside. And he says to me, every living, breathing person has at least one thing to be grateful for, and that is because they're alive. As long as you're alive, anything is possible. And this, your mental prison or lack of, can either break you or make you. Now, he is showing me, so basically to finish this off, if you keep doing this, if you keep being stuck in your mental rut, you will keep feeling like this person in reverse. You will never get to feel that power within, because what you're actually doing is you are pushing your power away. You're giving it away. And whether it is to outside circumstances or whether it is to what happened to you in the past, it doesn't matter. Point is, you need to bring it back. You need to own it. And the only way to bring it back and to own it is to first recognize it. He says the power is within you. The power to change is also within you. And though some aspects of life are out of our control, what we can change is what is between our ears, meaning our thoughts. You can always find something to be grateful for. And I'm a human being, of course. Sometimes I will get lost in my blah, this, and I have to shake myself away from it sometimes. I have to go, wait a minute, Joanna, stop. Look at all the things you have. You have everything you've asked for. What is your problem? And of course, there are things that I would want, of course, but if I look at my life and I look at all the things that I have, all of a sudden, I stop thinking about the things that I am doing this about, and it forces me to actually pay attention to what's in front of me, and it changes my vibration, and I feel my heart open up, and every time I do that, I attract more things of the same vibration. So this is a message for those of you who feel disempowered, and it's a message for those of you who want to feel empowered, but the empowerment comes within. If you're looking for this, if you're looking to feel like this, change your thoughts. And he says to me, that's enough, they got it. Okay? I hope this makes sense to you. If it sounded a little bit like a lecture, please forgive me, it wasn't. But I feel like he really wanted to, to drive this home for you. So my apologies, 1 second. So I hope, for those of you who this resonates with, you can take it for what it is. This is meant to empower you. This is not meant to disempower you. It's meant to empower you. That power is within. I wish you best of luck. Please let me know if this does make sense to you. If it doesn't, because it's a general reading, by all means, you can always contact me for a personal reading and see how this is connected to you in a very specific way. If you lost someone, obviously, you can also contact me. And if it doesn't make sense to you now, look at the other signs, your moon sign or your rising sign, and perhaps these will make more sense to you, or perhaps all of these will paint a bigger picture or more complete picture of what is happening in your particular situation. Before I go, he's saying to me, look at the number 2. The 2 here represents choices. And even though there is a waiting game, there are choices. And the choices he's pointing at is the choice of how you will look at things. You can look at things in this way, or you can look at things in this way. That you can change, okay? But again, that comes from within. Best of luck to you. Have a wonderful May, and I look forward to seeing you in June. Bye for now.